Yo, what is up guys? I'm here hitting you up with a new Etheria restart video. Tomorrow we have the big launch of Etheria restart, and I want to share my plans with you for tomorrow's release, the stuff I want to focus on, and I give you a little bit of insight and tips as well, what you want to do in the first couple of days, which will help you out to do the right decisions and make the most optimal progression you can possibly get. Now, let's take a look at my general plan. Obviously, everybody tomorrow will reroll. I guess there will be also some people who'll be like, no, I don't want to reroll. I go in, just play, see what I get, and then I will move on from there. That's also viable. But for me, I will for sure reroll. And there's also the possibility, since we do not have the option to guest lock in, we can use salted mails. What does that mean? For example, if your email is abc, for example, at gmail.com, let's assume this is your email, right? All you need to do is you do then abc +1 at gmail.com, and then you will get a code to your actual mail with that +1. And then if you go again, you go with abc and then +2 and so on and so forth till you actually get a roll that you are happy with, and then you bind your account with that. Now, this is the way we're gonna do it for the rerolls tomorrow. How does it look like? We want to do it till we get to the point where we unlock the mail function and where we can use the codes. We have roughly around 65 to 70 tickets. We want to use all of them on the standard banner and see what we can obtain based on that. And every reroll, you can also check it out on Gridwin as well. They show you the reroll guide. I don't want to do a whole reroll video just for that. The reroll targets I'm looking for, and you might saw it from others, but I also have a little bit of different reasonings and opinions, is Heinrich, Lily, and Mio. Those LDs are my main target for rerolling, and ideally I will see how I'm feeling tomorrow with rerolling. Maybe I get super lucky, but ideally what I aim for is 2 out of 3. Now, this is what I want to do is with all my summons, I want to make sure that I get at least 2 out of 3. So either I get Heinrich Lily or Heinrich Mio or Lily Mio. If I get any 2 out of 3, this is my signal. Okay, this is what I start with. I think with just one I will not be happy unless within my summons at the beginning, with these 60-70 summons, I get one of these units and I get like four other incredibly strong SSRs. Then I'd be like, at this point, okay, you know what, I go with that. But outside of that, I really want to make sure that I can get 2 out of 3. Yes, I know it sounds like a pain, it probably is, but you know what, I could also be super lucky, get it, and move on from there. But this is my plan for tomorrow. Let's see how it works out. I will also make a video tomorrow then about my end of day 1 progress, why I ended up with what I had, how far I progressed in the game, what I built and stuff like that. But yeah, those are my reroll targets. That's for that really. And I think that now there's a little bit of like a different approach I look at it than other people. For example, now I want to have my roster at the beginning as small as possible. At the end of the day, I kind of want to have every unit. The main target or the main goal at the beginning is what 4 to 5, maybe 6 units at absolute max do I want to work on the first week of the game, basically, or something. You know, really just make sure that you're not spreading out too much. Be really concise with what you got and go with there. I will work with Leanne at the beginning because of her challenges, obviously, because of the missions you got. This is something everybody's kind of taking the approach, getting Leanne up, finishing the challenges, afterwards resetting her, and then getting her back up to like around 5-star 35 or something. Also, with all the support units, I only aim to 5-star them. I'm not going to 6-star any support units, because with these types, okay, the first units you always want to 6-star first are your DPS units, okay? So something like a Heinrich or a Chloros, Remolka or Rosa, more to that. But what are my focus units? Now, next to Leon, the units I want to focus on are the 4-stars, which are Marvel, Gray and Kraken. These 3 will be my main focus. Ideally only Marvel and Gray. And now there's a big thing, some of you or no one really talked about much. She sadly got a nerf, but I will actually use number 41 because in my opinion it is very strong. You have a 3-star unit right off the gate in this game. It's super easy with pulls to max that character, to get it immediately like to A5, Ascension 5 or whatever it's called, I forgot, but to get like max dupe her. And you can easily get her also like her skill 1, 2 and 3, you can easily max her out. And I think she also has like speed upgrades, which allows her to be like very good, and she has short cooldowns. And then you have like a speed pusher, which also gives an attack buff at the beginning, and this can help out a lot with damage output because of certain buffs. So that's why I do want to make use of number 41 early on in the game, because I feel like she provides some, especially because she is a 3-star. She's super cheap, and that's why I will make sure that she's gonna be in my team. Now when it comes to Kraken, ideally I don't need to build Kraken at the beginning because I got Mio. Now, if I got Mio, I'm not gonna work on Kraken, for example, at the beginning, just because Mio provides something that Kraken, also kind of Marvel, but Marvel is a different story, provides with her CC, and that makes her very powerful, and you can just throw in anything. And Kraken in that sense I don't need at this point, so I can work with that. And then I have obviously Gray is my sub DPS with the crit rate buff and everything, the defense break, and Marvel is Marvel. That's for that. And then obviously this is for targeted banner, but also it depends on what kind of stuff I end up with at the end of the day in terms of DPS. For example, if I can pull those are the only 3 I put in. Why? Chloros is for Teramaton, Remolka for Doki Doki, and Rosa is for Aurora. So basically all these main DPS units for the main farming dungeons. That's why they are basically the targeted, because they are doing the job for you once we reach like Hell and Inferno mode. Basically, if I can pull one of these 3 units, will replace Leon in the early to mid game. Basically, once I finished her goal and reset her, everything, all these resources I put into Leon, then we'll go into one of these other units depending on what I will end up with. And yeah, this is basically what I will do. This is what I'm trying to aim for. And then, for example, if I can build something at the beginning now with a 4 team with 4 units or something, I want to use at the beginning maybe something like Mio, Leon, Marvel. Those are 3 units, and Gray, or instead of Gray I use like a number 41, depending on really what I'm trying to do. But I do have at least some option at the beginning, so I want to make sure that I have, for example, I have a Heinrich, so I can use Heinrich and I can use Leon, or depending on what I'm trying, or where Leon is not so good, I can use Heinrich instead. Or then I use also instead of number 41, if I have like Lily example, then I can use like a Lily Mio, and then together with like a Marvel, or with a Gray or Leon, or whatever else I end up with. But I really want to make it concise, so this is what I want to focus on, and then depending on what I need I can swap out. And I feel like number 41, for example, is a very good unit because you don't really need to invest much, and she does what she's supposed to do, and you can easily max her out in the beginning. And I feel like this could potentially be helpful in one or the other game modes. I obviously don't want to leave you just with that. There's another thing, I will link it in the description down below. So shout out to the Lunar Crescendos guys. They made a guide here as well, introductory recommendation, what you want to reroll for, stuff like that. You can look at that. I don't want to really go in depth. I will just link it in the description so you can actually check it out. And they also have like very important tips you want to do, how you want to spend your stamina, stuff like that, how you want to save your pulls, what do you want to do, what's recommended to farm, stuff like that. And then the early progression, what your basic strategy is for day 1, stuff like that. So this is what you can look. I looked at it. It looks pretty decent. So you can use that. So I don't need to talk about it, but you can use that basically and use that to your advantage as well. And yeah guys, if you enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to leave a like and a comment down below. I really appreciate it. And hey, if you're new, subscribe as well, and see you with the next one, and have fun with the Grand Lounge. Deuces.